Hey guys, for today's tutorial we're going to learn on how to animate a Growfx tree and put some wind modifier to it. And let's get started. So we're going to add some wind modifier on a Growfx tree. So we're going to select first the trunk. We're going to change this one to line first and then highlight path so we'll know which one we'll put the wind modifier. So we're going to turn this off first. Just cancel that one. I'm just going to turn off all of this because it's going to be heavy in our viewport. So we'll uncheck the manual update. Okay. And then we're gonna add a wind modifier on this trunk. So we'll go to this one, after mesh modifiers, and then we're just gonna add a wind animation. So we're gonna create a wind modifier by clicking this one. Wait. I'm just gonna move this one aside. Where's that? Alright. And then we're gonna change the font size to 200. Alright. So we'll rename this to trunk 1 so we won't get confused. Okay, so we're gonna pick that wind modifier. Should be that one. And then we're gonna change the stiffness to, let me just check because I already made wind modifier on this one, so I'm just going to check the settings. Give me a sec. Okay, so we're going to change the stiffness to 6000 and then flexibility to 2. Right? Let's see, so it's not updated yet because we need to show the mesh, I think. Yeah, not sure if it's gonna animate showing just the lines, but yeah, it shows with the meshes. So we're gonna set now the wind settings here by clicking the wind icon. We're gonna change it to 200. We're gonna change it, this one, perturb speed to 500, and then this one we'll leave it as it is, and phase will be 0.5, and this one will be around 20 because this one's gonna be a very slow wind animation. It's not too breezy, so this will do the work. Right. So I already set the time frame to 325 frames. Alright, so we're gonna add another wind modifier on trunk 2, branch 1, which is this one's here. Alright. So we're just gonna duplicate from trunk 2, we're going to copy and then go to branch 1, then paste modifier. Alright, and then for this one we're gonna create another. We won't be using this wind modifier here, but instead we're going to duplicate this one as copy and then change it to branch 1. Is it branch 1? Yeah, branch 1. So we'll pick this wind modifier which is named branch 1 here. We'll just change the color of this. Right. And then we're gonna change the setting of branch 1 to 40 wind speed, and then 300 for the speed amount, and then leave this guys as it is, and then we'll check again the branch 1. Alright, so the stiffness, we'll check the stiffness and the flexibility. So for the flexibility, we're going to change it to 3, but the stiffness we can leave it as 6000. So we're going to check again the animation. Let's see if it's moving. Okay, so there's, I'm gonna update this one. Let's see. Alright, I think we're going to change the speed. Punch on speed 40, maybe to 50 or 60. So we'll add a little bit of wind to it. Alright. Then we're gonna add another one for branch 2. I think branch 1 is all good. So branch 2 we're going to paste again that wind modifier, but we're going to add another wind modifier here for branch 3, for branch 2, sorry. Right, duplicate it as a copy, and then we'll change this one to 500, and then this one to 40. Okay, and we're going to click branch 2 and pick, since we duplicated it from trunk 1, so we have to change it to branch 2 wind modifier. So now it has changed. And now we're going to change the parameters of branch 2. So we'll set it to stiffness to 3000, then leave the flexibility to 2. Change this color to yellow. Right. So now branch 2 are this one, so it's gonna move, slightly move. See? So I'm just gonna hide those lines. So if we play this, we'll have a slight movement on those branches. Okay, so next we'll add one for branch tree. I don't think we need these ones, or maybe we can add it. We'll add one, but we're gonna use the wind modifier for branch 2, right? Okay, so we'll just copy that one, copy modifier, and then branch tree, go to branch tree, and then paste modifier. Should be same as branch 2. You can rename this to branch 2 and tree. Right. So this one should be animated by now. Yeah. So there's a slight movement on the branch tree. So now we're gonna add the twigs, and we're gonna show the twig and the rest of the leaves. Actually, I'm gonna cancel this one. Manual update later. Later, we're gonna put some animation on the leaves. Growfx sometimes is a little bit heavy when there's a lot of modifiers going on, especially these twigs and stuff. But still depends on the RPC, I think. Alright, so okay, for the leaf, we're going to add another wind modifier. Just gonna duplicate this one, copy, and then leaf. So we're gonna add some wind here for the leaves to sway, besides the twigs. Alright, and then for the settings, let's go to the leaf. After mesh modifier, we're gonna add or paste the modifier, wind modifier again, and then we're gonna pick the leaf wind modifier. Sweet. Okay, so we're gonna pick that one, leaf. Right, so it's now changed. Okay, it's gonna update again. So it does take time to create paths. Alright, where are we now? Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're going to change the wind modifier's speed to 90. Make it more stronger speed. And then leave this guy as it is. We'll go back to the leaf, and then let's change see, let's change the stiffness to 2000, and then this one will be 2000 also. So flexibility, it's the higher you input the number, it's more swaying, but the lower it gets, get more stiff. So we're just going to do a test animation now for this one. This is a preview. I think we're all done with this one, so we need to test it on a real-time preview. So I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm just gonna make preview now. 40, say 100, maybe just 50, make it quicker. That's great now. Alright, so this will take time to make a preview because of the twigs and the leaves. So I'm just gonna pause the video for a minute and we'll show you the result after this one will finish. Okay, so we're back. So I didn't finish it all because it takes time to make a preview, but this one is around 8 seconds. It should be the full video for the 325 frames should be maybe around 12 seconds or 11. Alright, so let's play this one. Alright, so as you can see, there's some swaying on the leaves and some on the twigs. I think this one will do for a slow wind animation tree. I'm now going to make a preview for the whole tree so we can see the whole tree being animated. Alright, so let's go back to the other camera and make a preview. So making a preview, just click Shift V. This one is for the beginners who doesn't know how to make a preview, so yeah, that's the shortcut. So Shift, steady Shift, and then V. Alright, so we're going to set this one to 325, and we'll just set it to 1250 for the resolution, and then let's play it again. Oops, I need to close this one, and I'm just gonna pause again the video. Okay, so we're back and the preview is done, so let's see how it goes. So as you can see here, it's a pretty generic slow wind animation, which is good for fly-throughs. So later we can make this into a Corona proxy, so it's going to be more lighter on for the animation if you're going to duplicate it or as an instance. Right, so right now, so for the key thing to add animation for Growfx is just go to After Mesh modifier and then add the wind animation, and then create the wind object, and then after that you can duplicate each wind object for every branch or twigs or trunk, And then after that, you can set the settings for the stiffness and the flexibility. The rest of the settings are as it is. And besides that one, you can also change the wind object parameters through the wind speed and the speed amount. Okay, so let's make this one into a Corona proxy animation. So first we're gonna add a point cache and then record the animation frames. Point cache, and then we just okay, so let me do that one again. Let's add point cache, modifier, and then new animated tree slow wind, and then we'll choose the point cache 2 file and save. So what it will do is it will record from 0 to 325 frames. So let's click the record button. So now it's recording it. Might take time again. Hopefully this won't crash. Alright, so let me just pause the video again and let's wait for the point cache to finish recording. Okay, so it's done and it's showing a 3 gig file, 3.9 gig file for the PC2 because it's 325 frames, I think. That's why. But anyway, it recorded the frames. Now we're going to convert it to a mesh before we get converted to Corona proxy animation. So let's just copy this one, and then, but first I think we need to save. Alright, so we're just going to copy the point cache first, and then we're converting it to a mesh. And then after that one, we're gonna paste the point cache again. So it should be recording now. I mean, yeah. So even without this wind objects, the animation is already in there because of the recorded point cache. So let me show you. Alright, so now we're going to convert this one to a Corona proxy animation. Okay, so let's go to Corona proxy exporter, and then animated. Let's go to 0 to 325. And then let's just click point cache for now, point cloud for now. And now we're going to export it. So just choose which folder you want to put your Corona proxy. And then let's export selected. So it should be creating now the animated proxy. It's still calculating, so it might take time again, so I'm just gonna pause it again. Alright, so it's almost done. I think it takes like 15 minutes or 10 minutes to create this into a Corona proxy animation. Alright, so as you can see, it's already a Corona proxy, and I think the animation is already there. Well, every time we make it into a full mesh, we couldn't see the preview because it's just loading on it's loading the mesh, as you can see in the loaded in RAM here. So it's gonna, yeah, it takes time. It takes a little bit of time to load it up. I think it's because it's heavy. See, so we couldn't make any preview, but it's gonna be the same as before as what we did. So this will be the end of the tutorial. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you've learned a lot. And don't forget to check the description below for the link for the 3D animated model for this tutorial. It will be a 3ds Max 2015 version with point cache, so you can convert to either V-Ray or Corona proxy. Thanks again for watching, and please do subscribe to get updates on upcoming new tutorials. See you next time.